Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Marianne's Mystic Mentions, with me, Marianne. Welcome to your August readings. Here we are, it's August, 8th month. This is the best part. I love 8s. They represent such power and such abundant capabilities and just really positive energy, building and growing and prosperity. Really, definitely prosperity. Now, we are in the Leo season still until August 22nd, and the new moon in Leo, which happened on July 28th, is still affecting us, every one of us. And to me, what that means is it's brought forth a real sense of power, empowerment. It's brought forth courage and fun and action. And it brought, I think it brings forth a desire for passion in whatever we're doing, just really getting behind it. And certainly in relationships, definitely, I don't know, that's going to last for a while. Now we do have, but before I go any further, I read for every single sign. Welcome to newcomers, welcome to people coming back to my channel. I greatly appreciate you and I love being here with you. And so I read for every sign, and I read, it takes about 2 weeks for me to finish because I do it in between my regular working job. But I get it done, and each sign is what I call my featured sign. So today's featured sign is the beautiful air element of Gemini. Mercury ruled Gemini. Gemini, we have some very important transits and planetary aspects happening for you, my dears. Female, male, doesn't matter. Gemini is the key. And once again, you are an air element. And so you're about the mind. You're incredibly intelligent. Any Gemini, and I've known many that I've known, really likes to continue to grow and learn in topics of all different things. And when you have a specific topic you're interested in, you delve into it like nobody's business. You're what I like to call the ace, jack of all trades, ace of none in a way. That's not necessarily true, but you know, you just know so much about so many things. You are an amazing conversationalist. You tend to be teachers. I say this all the time. This is one of your archetypes, and I've known many teachers that are Gemini, so there has to be some validity to it, right? It's just a very good chosen path for you. You could be an incredible writer. You're creative. You are, like I said, fun. You are about fairness and justice. You are one of the air signs, and that's kind of a standard, you know, fundamental aspect for all air signs, which is also Aquarius and Libra. But I will tell you that this new moon and this time of Leo season is particularly good for you, because not only have I met, like, too many to count, relationships, whether it be romantic, committed marriage, you know, type of thing, or good friendships that were Leo and Gemini. I mean, that's the air element with the fire, and they just work beautifully together, extremely harmonizing. And my brother and his wife are Leo and Gemini, and my mom and her second husband, I think it was, or first, I don't know. No, that would have been my dad, was Leo and Gemini. My mom is on the cusp. It's just a continuum. These are the things I love about astrology and reading up on the esoteric parts of life, the mysteries, the mystical parts. So perhaps you know what I'm speaking of, and if not, maybe you will yet to meet that Leo, okay? Because you won't forget it. And they are very much about, you know, being seen. They are ruled by the sun, for heaven's sakes. So that all that shines is glittery, and there's no holes barred with these Leos. They're very generous and very gregarious. And they're a fixed sign. They like to be, you know, they're pretty set sometimes, I will say, because I had siblings that are Leos, in their ideals and their, you know, what they believe to be their belief systems, I guess you could say. But overall, they will steal your heart. Their passion is unmistakable. They will treat you like a queen or king, depending on the gender and whatever's going on there. It's really romantic and gorgeous, and that's what's happening this month. And so then we have the full moon on the 11th of August, and that's going to be in Aquarius. So there is the fellow air sign to you, Gemini. And I've read different things, and you get different signals about it, because it's never just a full moon or a new moon, right? It has to have these aspects, these conjunctions, these squares to other planets that change it up and could make a difference. I say overall, because this is my channel, that I've got that fierceness with this Leo coming through. And I'm going to stand strong. I think it's going to be good. I do. I feel like more often than not, in the circumstance and the connection and so forth I mentioned, it's going to be a positive one. And they're always emotional, but it could be an amazing emotion. It could be a proposal. It could be, let's go away and have some fun on a vacation, right? You know, you like to do those sort of things. Gemini, you're very open to that. You're adventurous, and you're just, like I said, fun-loving, and that really appeals to the Leo. And you're also extremely caring and compassionate when you decide to settle down, as it were, which may not happen right away in your life. I mean, you have a lot to give and to offer, and so a lot of times Geminis, they're true, but they're just like, yeah, you know what, I'm not quite ready to make a commitment. When you do, you're true blue, inside and out, and very dedicated to those that you care about and love. So this isn't a love reading, though it's sounding like it, and there's so much potential this month, so I had to put that out there. But here's one last thing I will say to you, because there's going to also be a new moon in Virgo season, which is going to be on the 24th, I believe, and 22nd is when we go into Virgo season. So that changes the whole energy right off the bat. So get out, have this fun, go to those parties or those Leos before it's over, because what is it? Well, we've got a good 10 plus days anyway for you to do that. But the thing I want to talk to you about is what's really important for you, Gemini, is that you have Mars going into your sign on August 20th. And it's going to stay there for 7 months. And I laugh because I read that, and I'm trying to think in my vast, interest and enthusiasm about astrology, which really, really kicked in, I would say, probably 10 years ago. Tarot, 30 plus. And the combinations and the compatibility with signs since I was 12. Love it. Fascinated by it. Over and over again, it shows itself to be valid and, accurate, and it's phenomenal. But the last time I think something of this nature occurred, I believe was, I want to say Aries. So that, and it's every couple of years, I believe, when this happens to this extent. Anyway, the point is that Mars is the warrior planet. Mars is the fiery, passionate, aggressive, combative planet, and it is the ruling planet of Aries. And Aries had Mars in its sign for quite some time, and now it's in Taurus. It just goes around the zodiac. And then also Jupiter entered into Aries, which is also retrograde now, and most of the outer planets go retrograde. Uranus is like the last one of the bunch, the outer planets, and that happens, I think that is on the 24th as well. And it's something that happens every year, but the point is that it's going to be, Mars will be in your sign this long because it starts on the 20th of August, then it retrogrades, I believe it's like the 31st of October, 30th through December something, then it goes back in your sign again, and then there's the shadowy period before and after we feel. During that time, though, Gemini, there's so much you can do, and there's so much fuel and so much energy and drive and desire, and you got to be careful because it could almost be too much, and you might be in a rush, and you might be doing things so fast that you already do anyway, and you already just kind of have that frenzy energy that you don't want to you want to make sure you don't have any, malfunctions or accidents, and that's how they happen to me. I'm just doing my thing like I've done a million times, and then boop, that day I trip, or that day like last year, broke a piece of my wrist. Crazy stuff. Not putting the fear of God in you, just saying. Those are the times, so just being a little more cautious, but knowing that you're going to achieve so much. So this is the month. August is the month where everything is still clear. And then after, like around the 21st, 22nd, when we start going into Virgo, the shadowy periods start coming for the next retrogrades, for the season, the next eclipse season, and so on and so forth. But this is so wonderful. And even in retrograde, Mars loses its energy. You might feel less ambitious during that time. but it's internalizing things. It's staying strong within yourself. You don't have to be lifting weights. You don't have to be, you know, legitimately physically, although you might want to start a regimen during this time that Mars is in your sign. There's so many things that can happen. I just feel happy for you. I think it's really beautiful, and it's gonna bring out some real strength that you may not have realized you had for a while, because, you know, a lot of us had to kind of, things are put on the back burner in a lot of ways. So we lose our energy and our strength because of that. It's just a side effect, right? Those days are going. So I'm excited for you. So what I do now is I read the 4 major categories during the month of August for you. I'm using the beautiful Light Seers, the Light Seers Tarot. One of my favorites. I'm seeing it more and more with some of my favorite readers. I just absolutely like it, and I feel like there is a lot more light being shown in the planet right now, so it's very appropriate for that reason. The full moon, of course, always shines a light on topics and situations that we need to see or that reveal themselves, and for the betterment of us, of course. So then I will read the 4 major categories for you. I'll finish with 2 oracles, one being the rune, one of my favorites, and then set you on your way. But so overall energy for August is the first category. And I'm hoping and feeling, before I turn this over, but that, just so you know, I've been reading for many years. I have my own private practice as a massage therapist, so I do readings there, I offer. And the thing is I also get information from spirit, and that comes through. And I was doing love readings specifically for quite some time as my format. It's the love connections, and a lot of people thought it meant strictly romance, and it's okay to think that, but it was way more than that. So one of the categories now is relationships, and then it can be anything you wanted or have experienced or are experiencing, and that sort of thing. And it just doesn't all cater to love, though I think love is incredibly important and essential. It doesn't have to be just about romance, of course. Okay, so overall energy for August 2022, as we approach the latter part of our, year, beautiful Geminis, you have 4 of Wands. What? Okay, well, yeah, there's a tambourine in the air with these 2 girls just partying, because the 4 of Wands is one of the more beautiful. There's half a dozen I can say right off the bat that are absolutely, incredibly cheerful and joy-filled, invoking beautiful energies to be getting through, and messages. These are guidance, these are possibilities, they're support, they're, kind of little whispers to invite you to maybe think of things in this particular perspective as opposed to what's been happening, and it's always going to be completely up to you. Also, if you read I always say read, if you watch your sun, moon, and ascendant / even Venus placements, you're going to get a whole lot more of everything, because you are more than your sun sign, though very important the sun sign is. That's the day we're born. That's our solar return, and you had yours. But, it's a big portion of who we are, but it's certainly not all. So just putting that out there. But the 4 of Wands, and I love this deck. It's so beautiful. In the back, you can see, let me put these on. It almost looks like a tent, to be honest. It's usually a castle or something. And yeah, and it's got 4 Wands. And just, I think today, one of my favorite, everybody knows Minnow Pond. I mean, I watched him when he was doing just playing cards, like 7-8 years ago now. I don't even know, because time flies so fast. I'm drawn to him. I think he's great, and I love what he says. And a lot of things, we have had parallel interest in spiritual leaders and in people, and just, I have a Pisces rising. He's a Pisces. It's just been really cool. But he said to me, I think in the last day or two, and I hadn't seen this before, the 4 of Wands is stability and security, and it's the happiness in the family and the structure that we all in some way or another crave, even if it is a tent somewhere. Just knowing that we can live there and be fulfilled, because not everybody needs the glitter and glam, you know, it's so fulfilling and beautiful, and love enters into it. We feel good in loving ourselves and our situation and our families and people that surround us. Everybody's happy. But he mentioned, and I will get there, I'm sorry, that the 4 wands, and you can see the fire in the background, represents the 1111, which I see all the time. So when he says that in his readings, I'm like, I see it all the time. I love it. And when I see it, I think, okay, I'm being shown that the universe is listening. What am I thinking? Is it good? Is it positive? Is it going to, you know, is it going to bring good things to me? Or am I questioning it? Is it, you know, it catches you like that. But I love that reference to the 4 of Wands being the 1111. We are guided. We are supported. There is coexistence and co-creation at every moment in this body of ours, right? In this vehicle. So happy times. Happy times. I said it before I started. I feel things. I do. And that's a gift that I always have loved and I always wanted to share with people. And we all have that gift, by the way. But yes, that's how you're coming into August. Congratulations on that. Keep it going, because you have everything you need. And then, as I said, with the Mars going in there, it's just going to be fire, as they say. It's fire. And just great possible connections with a, you know, a job or a new invention, or, you know, you name it. It's being handed to you. I'm doing this backwards. It's okay. Second category is that of relationships. So it looks like it's so far so good. Things are steady. Maybe you have this new place. I actually know a really good friend of mine, Gemini. I love her. She just bought a home with her husband and her father-in-law. And they're doing well. We don't see each other now as much. But I love her. She knows that. And, you know, it was a long time coming. And they looked for a long time and they didn't. And so they've got it. And she never gave up, and I never give up, and I don't want any of you watching to give up, Geminis, because you've got everything it takes to make your life right. And so, yeah, your relationship, well, this has come up in the last reading, and I think just the last reading, but I was seeing it in other readings that I've been watching, and it is the 3 of Pentacles. Talk about relationships. This is growth. This is one of my favorite numerology numbers as well. 3 represents growth. Once again, support. Could be family, you know, others, work partnerships, you know, gathering together. A very creative aspect comes through with this. Very talented, very capable. This is the mastering of something that you know that you're good at and taking it to the next step. You know, checking out the detail of it so that it's exactly the way you want it. I love this. It's a macrame. Remember macrame? Everybody out there knowing anything about macrame? I remember my aunt doing that. It took a lot of space, but it was relatively easy. The knots and everything. However, this is 3. So it's 3 is growth and just excelling and mastering your craft and your relationships. And it looks like it's with the 4, starting with the 4 wands, and then with this, it's like there's teamwork going on here, even if there are 3 people. There could be a third party. It could be a child. It could be talk of a child. It could be talk of an animal, like a child, because animals become family members. We all know that. And I love this for you. So 2 out of 2 so far. So good, my dears. Now we go on to the category of finances and wealth. And I always say wealth is what you believe it to be. It could be your health. It could be something you're wanting to do to change the way you look and the way you've been feeling and ingesting things you're putting into your body. You know, just once and for all with this Mars energy, just prodding you and, you know, giving you that strength and that motivation to keep it going this time, because you feel better when you do, and that's everything. I mean, that is to me the most important thing we can do. And then when you're feeling amazing, all this wonderful stuff starts to happen, and it's like, whoa, I'm getting more money. I'm feeling more alive. I'm feeling more productive. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm nicer. And I look really cool, you know? They all kind of go together. So let us see what the wealth has to say for you, beautiful Geminis, in the month of August. Ace of Swords, it just gets better and better for you, Gemini, and so be it, as it should. I really believe this. We've all gone through so much, and you're no exception. And I know Geminis are extremely hard workers. And like I said, this is a time right now that's set especially for amazing things to occur. You know, we've got that help from the stars and the planets, and we've got it because we know we deserve it. Now, it's really interesting. It's a gorgeous card. It is about the mind. There's like this beautiful ray of light and energy, which is what we are. Focusing on your thoughts and your ideas, and just the wheels are turning. You are Mercury ruled, and that's about the fastest planet is Mercury. So of course, when we have the Mercury retrogrades, which we have every year, 3 to 4, it slows things down, and people think, oh, computers are crazy, you know, technology is weird, communications, like, I didn't mean that. I know I probably said that. What did you mean? And there's miscommunications and stuff. Transportation can get funky or whatever, but it slows us down so we can go, okay, well, things aren't going to go at the speed I would like them to, and life does go on. So let's just do our due diligence. Let's take this extra time we didn't know we would have because we had a client that we scheduled, or our plans changed with our, you know, vacation, what have you. Let's just take those deep breaths and know that we are loved in every moment of every second of our lives, and just go from there. What I'm seeing though in this card is pretty fascinating. I'm seeing what looks like a crow or a bird, but birds are information, okay? They're source of information, they're communication. Wanting to communicate, someone communicating to you. And then I see these, it looks like mathematical problems, so just the mind is constantly churning, isn't it? And I know I'm an air sign too. And I really, in this year and even last year, it was like I'm bringing it down, I'm bringing the focus down to my heart. And then instantly my eyes well up and I feel this emotion, because we all have it in us, but sometimes we push it down or away. And especially as an air sign, I'm like, okay, I'll get to that. I will. I'll be emotional later, but right now I have to focus on what I'm doing and just being very diligent and, you know, focused on certain things. And so Ace of Swords though, just stairway in the background to better things, moving up, you know, ideas are coming easier, information is coming through. It's positive. It's a beautiful card, and it represents your energy. So there you go. Really utilizing, you know, your best of the best, you know, the creme de la creme, the Bruges, what does that say? I don't know, I'll figure that one out later, but I always like that. What does I'll get back to you on that. Anyway, wonderful. Last category, and I love it, is surprises and wishes. With everything here, I too am actually really excited to see this, because this is something else. So maybe something you've been thinking along, because you think a lot, along with what you're already doing and you've been excited about and you're getting help with, and you're really happy because things are finally feeling like they're just stable, you know, and there's that security. We feel like we can hold on to something, right? Pentacles certainly have to do with the earthly things, you know, the 3 of Pentacles, that's the money, the sustenance, or food, you know, the root chakra, you know, being grounded and present and balanced. And so surprises and wishes. The Fool. That feels good. That feels good. I took a deep breath. What a beautiful card. The Fool, the one that actually starts the whole tarot journey, you know, and then the number 1 card being the Magician, the master of our life, having all the tools we need in our little, you know, toolbox. But the Fool is, what a gorgeous picture. Here's this beautiful woman, doesn't have to be, and oh, I'll be darned, it's usually a mountain with the Rider-Waite-Smith, but this is like an iguana or some kind of, I mean, it could be a cliff, but it looks almost like a reptile. I don't know, it must be my imagination. But either way, her shoe is in one hand. Is that a shoe or it's a vessel of some kind? Almost like there's a stick in the other, kind of having her keep her balance. Got to keep balance. You know, this is very essential for all of us. You know, just making sure that we don't, you know, tip the scales, if you will, too much in any one direction, but just trusting, letting go and saying, I'm in. Surrender and release, man. Here I come. Usually a dog is there referencing, you know, the loyalty that we have with Source and God and, you know, our higher power. It's always there for us. It always has our back. But also making sure you're doing calculated risk at the same time. I mean, you are 99% just like allowing this new chapter, this new Ace of Pentacles to start. You're just like, okay. Still gotta want to look around a little bit because I love myself, so I don't want to injure myself in any way. And like I said, the Mars thing it'll really give you some zippity doo dah. So fantastic reading, Gemini. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I tend to ramble, and I decided from now on I'm not going to do that. And I want you to know that this is really beautiful energy and so many possibilities here that I can't even begin, but you can because it's your life, it's your reading, and you do what you will, but I have great feelings about what's happening for you. I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to go on to your rune. I'm memorizing the runes, so I'm using my flashcards, but they have great definitions on the other side as to what it's about, and I don't want to brag or anything, but I remembered one yesterday. It made me really happy. So anyway, I hope to continue to do that and become really proficient at reading the runes because they're one of my favorite. Oh, okay, so here we have what I had said looked like a hat. I want to say it's Pertho. I want to say it's a P. And if I'm correct, I'm going to be really happy, but I'm going to be happy either way. This is about your reading, and I have something that'll verify what it really is. Just putting it out there because every time I do it, it should sink in, and I'm using ways to kind of remind me because it isn't like our English alphabet. And it is a letter. So here we go. Let's just look it up and see where we go from there. And it looks like it's either one of these. I believe it's this one. Okay, because there's two that look like it. No. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong, and it is this particular one. It is not a P. It is Thurzas. So one looks similar, but this one, I'll have to figure out how I'm going to really remember that. Maybe eventually you just do, because, you know, it's just, you see it enough, you're like, that's Thurzas. And it's rune number 3. Isn't that great? There you go with the 3 again. It says a lot. I just got the, you know, goosebumps going up the shin. So yeah, 3 is very much of a momentum of building. And of course with Mars, it's gonna just really be like very animated. And we've had some definite effects of Uranus, which is the planet that, you know, rules Aquarius, which is the full moon next week. So there's going to be unexpected things too. I'm not going to lie. There'll be surprises out of the blue. There'll be incredible things that'll work for you, like at your job, maybe something technology-wise, even though it tends to put on the fritz a little bit. But then once that comes back, as it always does, it can really ease your day with new ways to learn it, or you're wanting to learn it, you want to take a course about it. Uranus is a big part of August because it has I want to say a conjunction, I could be wrong, with the North Node and Mars, and that was squaring, excuse me, there we go, squaring Saturn, you know, the strict, you know, taskmaster, let's keep things, and that's not what Uranus wants. So it's this battle, you know, like, no, I want freedom, no, I want to be conservative, I just, yeah, the duality like you, really, Gemini. So anyway, 3. Another 3. The actual theme is Thor's hammer or thorn. And I look at that as like something that's productive, you know, and working and building. Maybe so. So keywords are protection, regeneration, justice. Oh, like a gavel. Okay. That might be the hammer. Defense, guardian, and righteous. Ooh, the righteous. That's kind of like that Mars. Like I said, you got to be careful, but you might. It's okay to feel that way when you're right. You're right, and that's cool. And knowing your boundaries always. Magical working, purposeful destruction, defense, protection, getting justice, love relationships. I know I said from the beginning with Leo in the mix and everything, and you may be being with the Leo or wanting to or seeing one or coming back. I think it's inevitable. I'm just putting it out there. Key phrases: a force for good, righteous anger, fighting back. Okay, and sometimes you have to. I don't know. I don't like to fight. I don't, but I definitely feel like I'm stronger as far as expressing myself. I don't even have to yell, you know, I just have to be very real and grounded in how I'm approaching it and saying this is how I feel. Okay? People appreciate that. I really believe that. Protecting what you cherish, a good defense. So that is your oracle, the rune, in conjunction with your reading, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I think it makes sense. We had talked about things similar, and if not, maybe it's just something you can add to what you've already heard so far. And then I'll finish with your last rune, forgive me, your last oracle, which is called the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle cards, because they're gorgeous. And I haven't had them long, and I just absolutely love each and every one. So a lot of them are basically new. I've only used it, I think, one, maybe two times total, other than this time. So let me just shake them up a little bit and pull the one that's most appropriate for you, Gemini. So I hope that you are enjoying this reading and that you will come back and you will be a part of my regular tribe that joins me and subscribes and likes and pushes the notification bell, because I never know when I'm uploading. I do it whenever possible. And like I said, it takes me longer than other readers, but I do it. I will get there, okay? Because I love to. This is what I do. It doesn't cost anything, but for you to support me by pushing the subscribe, which I think a lot of people want to, but they don't realize, or they think they might be getting a bunch of emails and charges and stuff. Nothing like that happens, I promise. And so, yes, thank you for your support in that manner, if you feel so inclined to do that. Your last card, though, is, oh, it's got shades of purple. Anxiety isn't trying to limit you, but free you from a situation that no longer feels good. Okay, here's the weirdest thing about this. Of course, that's true. And you're going to feel maybe more anxiety-filled when you have Mars, because it does bring that in. And then this Uranus thing is no joke. It has that kind of electric kind of, you know, shocking kind of feeling to it, which could be associated with anxiety. The question is, what is your discomfort trying to free you from? But what I wanted to say was, it's number 24, which is 6. 2 plus 4 is 6 in numerology, and that's Venus. And, you know, there's a huge emphasis on Taurus because Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, the North Node that's conjuncting Uranus and had been starting on the 30th, I believe, and definitely on the 1st, and will kind of color the month. It's also in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is beauty and love and all the things we said, and it's magic. It can be magic, but it can be emotional and it can be duality. But here these two look like twins. You check it out. I'm reading for you, Gemini. You represent the glyph of the twins. You know, you are duality. As is, they say, even Libra, because Libra is the scales, you know, and then also Pisces, the two fish, you know, kind of swimming in either direction and just kind of, mutable, as are you. Libra isn't, but still, I'm just really taken back by now by this. There's something you need to hear in this, okay? A certain percentage of you, absolutely. But I'm going to read a little bit about that and then send you on your way. And it is once again 24. 6 is a gorgeous, it can be a beautiful energy. And so, went too far. Here we go. Are you trapped in stress and anxiety? Look at where you've unknowingly given your power away. If you dive deeper into your experiences, you can see that stress, anxiety, and boredom have a profound purpose. I mean, everything does. They are indicators and provide direction. Imagine that your frustrations in life are not happening to you, but for you. I mean, seriously, it's always kind of cool to look at a different direction or a different perspective and things. I mentioned that earlier in the reading. I know I heard myself saying that. And it could be for your betterment. But I think you already do that anyway, which is what I wanted to say to you. Stress in any form can guide us into a deepening path to freedom. I get it though, because sometimes it pushes you like Mars will push you in ways that you're going to make a choice about a lot of things and you're not going to look back. And that's so helpful for you right now in these 7 months, okay? Because there are things you have wanted to cut yourself away from or out of, or people, and I know it, I sense it, I feel it, I'm not wrong about that. And this is just confirming that. So instead of locking it out and pushing it away with mindless habits, which is what I do, I don't think they're all mindless, but anyway, can you invite it in? What a concept. Ask why is it here? Observe it, question it, and be curious about your uneasiness. I really like this. I learn every time I do a reading as well, but I want you to sit with that because I know from my own personal experience and people I've known, throughout the years, we want to kind of push that uneasiness away. It's not comfortable, but if we sit with it long enough, we can get to the other side of it or go through it, I guess, to where it's not going to have that same effect. It isn't. It doesn't. And I know you can think of situations or examples when that's probably already occurred. So it's encouraging you to do that yet again. This is an amazing reading with some inner thoughts that will really help you to be the best you once again. That's all this is ever about, evolving to that stage. And, we have a lifetime. It's not that long to do this. And when you do it and how you do it and whatever, it's really entirely up to you. But I hope you have an amazing August. It has amazing, beautiful, beautiful possibilities and energies for you. And then come on back for September, okay? When we face fall and all those beautiful parts of the year as well. So until next time, thank you. Bye for now.